Vulture ladies, please give a warm welcome to Zeus, the eagle owl. Give him a big welcome, everybody. Now, Vulture ladies, this is owl with a 5-foot wingspread. It is the biggest type of owl in the world. And just by looking in this bird, you're going to notice that he resembles another kind of bird found right here. Anybody know what he looks like? Good job, a great horned owl. That's right. This is the largest member of the great horned owl family of birds. We actually have, for comparison's sake, an actual great horned owl that's just joining our program. Welcome, Jack to the show, everybody. Now here you can see the size difference between the two of them. There is a significant difference. And this bird is actually found throughout Europe and Asia. This bird is found right around this area and throughout most of this country as well. They are both formidable predators. They both have a very good gripping strength in their feet. This one has about 350 pounds of pressure of gripping strength in those talons. This one has about 1,200. They both eat a lot of the same things that the hawks do. Rabbits, rats, squirrels, mice, snakes, and you can add foxes to the list of this bird's diet as well. Does anybody know what the great horned owl's favorite food is? What is it?
Mice.
Skunks, that's right.
Skunks.
It's a really good thing he doesn't have a sense of smell, isn't it? Now, the reason he's with us is because this bird was actually found in his nest attacked by a swarm of bees. That he actually lost his right eye because of that, but over the next few weeks, he's going to become a flighted member of our flighted program here. So we just wanted to give him some audience exposure here today so we can see what it looks like up here. He's doing a great job. Let's send him on his way. Now you may have noticed Zeus making an odd sound. That one. But that's not an owl sound typically you would hear. That's actually just a baby sound. That's the sound that a baby makes to a parent when it's asking for food. The problem with that is that he's now about 6 years old. He never stops making that sound. However, we have been working on his adult sound. Does anybody want to hear him hoot for us here today? Yeah. All right, we're going to give it a try. Right over here, then. Well, apparently Zeus doesn't give a hoot today, so we're going to send him back inside. Let's say goodbye to Zeus.
Bye, Zeus. He's not going.
By the way, this particular bird is not what makes it the biggest in the world. Invertebrate species, females are larger in overall body weight and size than males by about 1/3. So a female eagle owl would stand another third taller than that. All right. I'm going to call him back here. He's having a bit of trouble with the wind. Actually, can we call him up to the balcony, please? Yeah, I think you're saying, come again, me. Have you ever heard the old saying, the wise old owl?
Here he comes.
It's not true. And I'm not being derogatory, it really isn't true. The reason for that is because most of the nerves in an owl's head are dedicated to its optics, to its eyesight. So there's not a lot of extra room up there for processing speed, as it were. They can see 8 to 10 times better than we do, but owls only require the light of one candle to see about 1 mile away. They have significant nighttime vision. Sort of looking like a little Blair there, isn't it? Alright, let's go around here. We've got a wild bird up there. Do you know what that is? It's a turkey. Alright, right up here. We're going to try this one more time. Ho, ho! Lift, 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 lift. There we go. Huzzah! Right around here. And he's a brand new addition to our program. Yesterday was his very first day of free flight. So, I would like to introduce everyone to the Harris Hawk. Please welcome Dash to the show. Now, up until yesterday, Dash was not able to fly further than about 15 feet. He had been the victim of a vehicle impact. His right wing had been crushed, and he now has a pin in that wing that helps him to fly a little bit. But we've been giving him some exercise to become a part of the program. And today, we're going to try and get him to go the whole length of this stage. So let's see if we can get him to do it. Here we go. Up, up. Now that is an immature Harris hawk, and this bird is unusual amongst the birds of prey species for a few reasons. First of all, this bird, most birds of prey actually choose a single mate and they will live and hunt within a specific territory. However, this bird actually lives in groups and colonies and they will hunt together in packs. In fact, they've actually been nicknamed the air wolf because their hunting technique is very similar to that of wolves. Actually, it's exactly the same as wolves. What they do is get together in a group, maybe 5, 10 or more birds. The barred owl. Please welcome Wolfgang, everybody. Come up. I'm going to turn off my voice here for a moment so he doesn't get confused. There he is. Welcome, Wolfgang, everybody. Now, I will be glad to admit that as he looks around at us, we're going to notice that he really is a very adorable little bird. So let's get that out of the way. All together now. There we go. Now, this is, in fact, an adorable little bird that you would typically find around a body of water. Say a pond, stream, lake, that sort of thing. They eat much smaller prey because they don't have a very good gripping strength comparatively to other birds of prey. He has about 150 pounds of pressure gripping strength in his feet. To give you an idea of how strong that is, pardon me, the average adult male human has about 90 pounds of gripping strength in the hand. So these birds really are tremendously strong for their size. Now, he's actually very lucky to be with us, and we're lucky to have him because this bird was actually found in Texas as a baby bird on the ground, completely covered in fire ants. He had actually been stung so badly that they had stung out the pupils of his eyes, and we thought he was never going to be a sighted bird. But after he turned about 6 months old, he started getting his sight back. Well, now that he's been around people all of his life, he doesn't know any different, so he can't be released back out into the wild because of that. It's because he thinks he's something he's not. It's called a mal-imprint. And in this case, he thinks he's one of us. He thinks he's a person. That, or he thinks we're all owls. Either way, the point is he identifies himself as being the same thing that we are. Now, there's one thing I do want to point out on this bird. He has a definitive circle around his face. That's what's called a facial disc. Most all owls have them, and it's a way that they actually hear things better. Most owls can hunt entirely by sound alone, and it's because of that facial disc. That helps them to funnel sounds through their facial structure into their ears, which is located directly behind their eyes. Now, in him making that little squeaky sound, sort of like a plush toy, right? That's actually his baby sound as well. Now, he's actually just turned 2 years old, and we're actually going to see if we can get him to hoot, because I'm told that while we're out here trying to get Zeus to hoot, he's busily hooting inside the castle. He does it all the time when nobody's around here, but we're going to try and get him to do it here today. I'm really hoping he does. I think he just gave me the bird. What do you think? Sue, we're over here. That's right. Yes, that's right. Okay. Is anybody here from the deep south? Anyone? It's okay. You can tell us here. We don't care. This bird and another bird sound very similar out in the woods. The great horned owl and this bird have very similar hoots. But there's an old adage in the deep south to tell the difference between a horned owl and the barred owl. It goes like this. The horned owl says, "Who cooks for you?" Woo, 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 woo. And the barred owl says, "Who cooks for you all?" Or y'all. Ha ha ha. Nothing. send him on his way. Let's see if he makes it this time. He's been having trouble with the wind as well. Let's give it a try. Say goodbye to Wolfgang. Home up.
Sorry.
He's winding up. Home. Home up. Home up. Lift, lift, lift. And he did it. There we go. That's right, her name is Ed. Here she goes. Look alive. It's a big vulture. Look alive, everybody. Give her a big welcome. Now, she truly is the largest and most dangerous bird that we have to share with you here today. She's not a flighted bird. She is missing a portion of her left wing. She was a donation to us from the Peoria Zoo, and she came to us with that missing wing. She was in a very large enclosure with a lot of other birds, where she lost the end of her wing in a fight with one of those birds. But that does not detract from what she's going to do for us here today. This species is well known for eating its food very quickly. Now, we have talked about gripping strength on some of the other birds being quite significant. You would expect a big bird like this to have a really good gripping strength, right? Okay, well, she has about 0 pounds of gripping strength in those feet. Most vultures do. We think that's due to the types of food that they eat. For the most part, vulture food generally doesn't, however, is literally razor sharp. It's actually capable of going through the hide of elephants and lions. It is very sharp, isn't it? Now, what she's going to do is show us how sharp her beak is by completely removing all of the meat off of this chicken drumstick. You saw it. So did she. And she usually does this in less than 15 seconds. So you can help us by counting out loud the seconds this takes, because my apprentice, well, he's otherwise occupied, isn't he? So on the count of go, everybody, let's count out loud. Ready, set, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And she's done. You might give that back to her. Now, keep in mind she's not been withheld food or anything like that. This species is well known for eating its food very quickly. If you've ever watched our nature programs, Discovery, Animal Planet, or if you've been to Africa, you may have seen where a large predator like a lion has killed something. Oftentimes we see a lot of other animals waiting for their turn off in the background. And we've all seen that before, right? Okay, well, this is one of those animals. This bird travels in very big groups, sometimes 100, 200 or more at a time. So when that food becomes available, it simply does not last long at all. It only takes 100 of these birds to completely devour 600 pound parrots. That means he steals food from other animals. Now this bird has a very short tail that allows him to be very acrobatic when he flies. He actually has the ability to flip upside down to steal food away from other birds while they're flying away with prey. I'd like to introduce everybody to the African augur buzzard. Welcome Orion to the show. Now Orion, we're going to try and get him to catch this leather bag up in the air and show you how he can flip upside down. He's honestly been reluctant to participate today, so let's give it a try, alright? Nicely done. Now, believe it or not, this little bird is actually one of our most aggressive birds, as he stood killing that little lure right there. He has about 325 pounds of pressure of gripping strength in those feet, and he does not like to let go. So we can get it away from him. There we go. Good job. Now, this is called the African augur buzzard, but what does he look like? Hawk, that's right. It is a hawk, it's in the hawk family. The difference is in the language. In Europe, where these birds are found, hawks are actually named buzzards, whereas here in the States, vultures are sometimes called buzzards. The difference is, there is not actually an animal here in this country that's named a buzzard like this one is. Alright. Now we do have another bird to share with you I think you'll enjoy, because this is one you don't typically see in a program like this. He's a new addition to our program, and it is called the king vulture. Please welcome Ray to the show, everybody. Now, Ray is actually about 22 years old. He was actually, he came to us from a zoo, and as you may or may not know, most zoos actually have very strict protocols about breeding animals. Well, his parents actually apparently were able to hide him from the keepers until he was fairly old there. Unfortunately, they didn't have room to keep him there, so they placed him with us for permanent care. There he is, let's give him a warm welcome. Welcome, Ray. Now, Ray was actually raised in the zoo until he was ready to go by ladies. So he has, well, he doesn't like men very much, let's put it that way. That's why my lovely wife is handling me here today. And I'm glad to let her do it because he can be quite aggressive. Now, this bird was actually revered by the ancient Mayans for being their messenger between their kings and their gods, and that's why they revered him so highly. Now, this bird out in the wild would actually be one of the last vultures to arrive at a kill or to find food. However, if there are other vultures or other animals there at the kill, they all get out of his way. He is actually related distantly to the condor. You can tell his head features do resemble that of a condor. And this is also one of the other types of birds that can actually have a sense of smell. Well, lords and ladies, have you enjoyed seeing your birds here today? Please remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle everything that you can. It benefits them, and ultimately it does.